And call the Senate Appropriations Committee to order. Before the committee today, we've got the National Guard. So whenever you guys are ready, come on forward.
Good morning, Chairman. Can you hear me okay? I can't tell if I can hear myself. Well, hey, again, Mr. Chairman, good morning, and members of the committee. It's good to see all of you, and we appreciate what you do. I'm Major General Levon Compton. I've had the pleasure of getting to meet most of you over the years, and it's always a delight. I am the Adjutant General of the Missouri National Guard, and always very proud to perform in this role with this great team. I've placed a handout in front of you. I'll use that to talk through here just a bit. I'd like to highlight the Missouri National Guard's priorities listed on the front and on the back of the placemat. I won't make reference too much, but on the back you'll notice we've identified all the locations of our Missouri National Guard armories across the great state. We, the Missouri Guard, prioritize and focus our efforts and resources in support of our mission, our vision, and our priorities. The National Guard is unique in that we have both a federal and a state mission. We fight and win our nation's wars when called upon by the President, and when called upon by Governor Parson, we protect the lives and property of Missouri citizens. Our vision is we train, fight, and win while taking care of each other as one team. We are a people-first organization, and therefore our top priority will always be our members. We are honored to be here representing your Missouri Guard, consisting of almost 12,000 soldiers, airmen, and civilian employees, who, I'm very proud to say, live and work in every county across the state. Of those 12,000 members, we employ almost 2,700 of them in a full-time status, either in active duty status of federal technician or state employee. And this past year, we trained over 10,000 soldiers and airmen at our 65 armories, readiness centers, and training sites across the state. Our readiness build, which this budget supports, ensures we can accomplish missions here at home when disaster strikes Missouri. Missions like COVID-19 relief, civil unrest, response to flooding and tornadoes, and winter storms is what this budget helps us do. Our greatest readiness builders are our participation in large-scale training events and providing support to federal missions around the world. In 2023, we had airmen participate in overseas training exercises in places like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Panama. Our Army soldiers took part in 3 warfighter exercises at various locations across the country. These exercises prepare our members for deployments and federally assigned domestic missions. Additionally, we deployed over 700 members in support of 10 missions overseas and along the southwest border. We will deploy another 620 members to perform similar missions in 2024. In addition to our overseas missions, we are federally assigned domestic response missions. One of our unique missions is our Joint Weapons of Mass Destruction Civil Support Team. Behind the scenes at most large public events such as Kansas City Chiefs home games, World Series, and playoff games, our civil support team members are using unique equipment to identify, advise, and assist with protecting our citizens from potential terrorist attacks. We also prioritize building strong partnerships throughout our state, nation, and the world because we know our partners multiply our effectiveness. One of our strongest enduring partnerships is with the country of Panama. They have been our partner for the last 27 years under the State Partnership Program. In 2023, we conducted 18 exchanges with Panama, and where we shared our training and experiences as well as we learned much from the Panamanians. And this coming year, 2024, we'll do another 20 events with Panama. On a more local level, our counter-drug program has partnered with civilian law enforcement agencies since the early 1990s to provide unique National Guard capabilities to assist in combating the illicit drug epidemic that affects, unfortunately, so many of our communities. In 2023, we embedded analysts and provided aviation support to over 25 agencies, resulting in the seizure of $80 million in illicit drugs, money, and property. Both of those programs provide our members experiences which help build readiness.
So we're going to go ahead and get started. Senator Schroer and McCreary, you guys can go ahead and present your bills first.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, hey, at the end of the day, you have a very capable National Guard, and we are always striving to innovate and make ourselves better. One great example of this is our aviation classification and repair depot known as the AVCRAD, based at the Springfield Airport. This regional facility, servicing 14 states, is one of 4 in the nation. It uses cutting-edge technology to repair rather than replace aircraft components. This results in a replacement cost avoidance of roughly $114 million a year. The AVCRAD also funds 120 state employees, federal pass-through dollars. This facility is just part of the $505 million in federal funding that the Missouri National Guard brings into the state annually. And this results in an economic impact to the state of roughly $1 billion a year. Your support for our budget ensures our ability to meet our dual missions that provides for the safety and security of Missouri citizens. We thank you for your time and support and what you all do for our great state. I have Mr. Nick Humphrey sitting here with me. He is our Deputy Director and provides budget oversight for our state funds for the Missouri Guard. And pending any questions you may have for me, I'll pass it over to Mr. Humphrey to walk us through the budget book.
Thank you, General. Senator Lukemeyer.
General, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So I had some meetings with the 139th yesterday. Everybody was in town for Great Northwest Days.
Yes, sir.
It was fantastic. I know Senator Huff had a fantastic time at the event last night. But one of the things that came up during those conversations, I would just like to have a conversation with you offline, is the new C-130J models. I know that there were several Air National Guard units around the country that ended up getting some of those planes. I understand that there are several more that are in production. Obviously, I would love to see us get those this next go-around up in St. Joe. If we could just have a conversation in my office, if there's things that we as a committee can do to facilitate that, I certainly would like to work on that this year.
Yes, Senator, I appreciate that. And I know that you have our full support. That's one of our biggest priorities, so thanks for your support.
Yep.
Going to the budget book, if you could go to page 5 tab, that is the governor's recommended pay plan. Page 15 is our administrative core. Page 40 is an NDI for the Cheppy Monument in France. This is for ongoing maintenance and repair. So this page shows that it was not recommended by the governor. However, this was actually moved from House Bill 8 to House Bill 20, so it was recommended by the governor in House Bill 20. Page 50 is our trust fund core. And I'm sorry, I missed page 45 is an NDI recommended by the governor. This is for an FTE for our National Guard Museum. Then page 50 is our trust fund core. Page 67 is the USS Missouri Corps. Page 72 is the Veterans Recognition Corps. Page 82 is our Field Support Corps. I'd like to point out on page 84, which is not tabbed, we have a accounting error on 84. We inadvertently showed a core increase as a one-time, so you'll see 112.15 in your book. However, it should be 67.15. And I have been working with House and Senate budget staff and try to fix that. So hopefully the committee will take pity on us and fix our error. Page 98 is our Armory Rentals Corps. I'm sorry, I missed page 93 is our field support utilities increase. That's an NDI recommended by the governor. We've seen utilities go up about 20% over a 3-year time span, so we need to keep the lights on in the armories. Page 107 is our Family Relief Corps. Page 117 is our Training Site Corps. Page 125 is our Contract Services Corps. Page 146 is our next NDI. This is for spending authority to add 2 additional aircraft mechanics at the AFCRAD. Page 151 is an NDI. This is for health monitoring for aviation mechanics at the AVCRAD. Page 156 is our Civil Air Patrol Corps. And page 166 is our final NDI. This is for Civil Air Patrol MOSWIN radio upgrades. And that concludes our budget.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Does not appear. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate what you do. I know the duties are a lot more complicated than the 15, 20 minutes you're in front of this committee, and I want you to know you've got not only our support but our thoughts as you're out there doing what you do every day to keep everyone in this state safe. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Members, appreciate you.
I think we've got the public defender up next.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Good.
Mary Fox, Director of Missouri State Public Defender, and because I always forget to introduce her, I am here with Heather Tillman, who is our budget manager for the Missouri State Public Defender, who puts the book together and really knows what I'm saying, understands it in much more detail. And before I get started, I just want to say I know for a lot of you this is your last year here in the legislature, and we are a heck of a lot further along now than we were 4 years ago, the first time I appeared here, and that is due in large part to what you all have done. We used to talk about the problems in Missouri, and the number one problem was public defender. And now it's not on the list anymore. We've come a long way, and that is due in large part to increased funding. So thank you. We haven't solved our problems, as Senator Bean definitely knows. We're struggling in the southeast part of the state, really the entire southern part of the state we're struggling. But we're getting there. We're getting closer, and we appreciate what you have done. I was just going to go through the NDIs unless you want me to go through more.
Mary, I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Senator. I will follow that advice. Our first NDI is on page 10, and it is our pay plan increase, which, again, we appreciate. And I think a big part of the improvement in the public defender system is that we have brought those salaries to a more reasonable level. We're not there yet. We've always been competing with the Attorney General, and we managed to get ours up to $60,000, and then they raised theirs to $70,000. So we're going to try to get ours up a little bit higher so that rather than competing against each other, that we're both pulling from the same pool on equal grounds. Our second NDI is on page 23, and this is our Public Defender Reinvestment Fund. The governor this is our tax money that we get from recreational marijuana, adult use marijuana, and our 1/3 share after appropriations to the courts and to Department of Health. The 1/3 of the taxes that are left for next year should be $7,800,000. We use that money for two things. We use it for our holistic defense services, and we use it for our case contracting. So case contracting is when we have an office where we don't have enough attorneys to handle all the cases. We contract the cases out to private attorneys in the community. And down in Dunklin County is a perfect example where we have one attorney for for an office that probably needs 5 attorneys, we contract a significant number of those cases out to some private attorneys in the area, as well as have attorneys from other offices assist. So a big portion of that will be used to continue case contracting. What we have found is if we are going to succeed, we have to keep people in the positions so they can learn how to do the job and then do the job and be able to take the more serious cases as they're there for a longer period of time. In order to do that, we have to keep the cases that they're handling at a reasonable level. If they get too many cases, they get to the point where it is not worth the inability to do the job well and the risk to their license and to their well-being to continue. So by case contracting, we send cases out to private attorneys and try to keep our in-system attorneys' caseloads at a reasonable level. Holistic Defense Services is a new initiative that we started last year, and we started it through what we call the State AmeriCorps program, where we have hired AmeriCorps volunteers to come into our offices and provide assistance to our clients so that they get what they need so that hopefully they do not return to the criminal legal system. If you look at our case numbers, we will represent a person over and over and over again. And what we found is if we connect them with a substance use program, we connect them with housing, we connect them with employment, then chances are they won't come back for a second case. And that's the way that is really the best way for us to reduce the public defender caseload moving forward. We've been very successful with the AmeriCorps folks, and we have also used some of the marijuana money to partner with a program called Partners for Justice, which is a national program that provides this service across the state. Next year, we will actually be asking for some FTE in our trial offices because our volunteers are there for either a 1 or a 2-year time period. And what we find is by the time we get them trained, their time period's almost gone. So if we had some FTE in the offices also doing that same thing and then managing those volunteers, we would get a lot more bang for our buck. And we would be able to hopefully provide the services that our clients need so that they don't remain our clients, which is our goal. I often have a client at the end of a case say, "Thank you, I appreciate what you did so much. What can I do for you?" And my response to them is always the same. It's, "Don't come back. I don't want to see you again. Have a good life. Take care of yourself. Do what you need for yourself." So that's sort of the goal of our holistic defense program. And we have found a lot of success in helping clients get out of the system and get back. We tell the story in our annual report of one client who not only got into a treatment program in her local court, she got housing, she got her children back from Children's Division, and she got full-time employment. So we're not paying for her to be in jail. She's paying taxes for her employment, and we're not paying for her children to be in foster care. And that was all done through our holistic defense advocate in that office, working with the community resources that already exist in the state. So in my mind, however much longer I can last in this position, that is the future of the public defense system. Not just doing a good job representing them in the legal cases, but taking care of them so that they aren't our clients in the future. And then our only other NDI is 32. 2 of our staff members.
Sorry, Mary.
What? I'm sorry.
Senator
Excuse me.
Thompson Raider.
And I apologize if you said this in the beginning, but how many places are you doing the holistic program in?
So we're doing it in all 33 of our trial offices, but we don't have a person in each office. So for instance, we have a person in St. Louis who covers St. Louis County, Jefferson County, Franklin County, St. Charles. What we would like to do is get one person in each of the 33 trial offices. Right now, I think between Partner for Justice advocates and our staff and our AmeriCorps, we have 23 people that are in system. And only a few of those are actual FTEs. Most of them are the volunteers.
Does the budget reflect an increase in that program at all?
Not for this year. We're using the marijuana money for this year. We will be requesting money next year. And we testified in front of the Joint Committee on Substance Use Disorders in front of Representative Black. And one of the recommendations that came out of that task force was to fund this program moving forward.
Excellent.
What we did was we wanted to start it, and we haven't done it before.
Right.
So we want to make sure that our theory works. So we're not only doing it, we're tracking the results of what we're doing, And we received a grant from Missouri Foundation for Health to have a research person come in and analyze whether or not what we're doing is actually helpful. So
Excellent.
before we
Okay.
make our request next year, we will have that data and we will include that as part of our request.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. And we just got somebody down in our Jackson office. We've had to work as a holistic advocate. So we're just sort of starting in that area. Poplar Bluff, actually, I don't know if that's included in your area, son. It's not. We have one in Poplar Bluff, and we have a person in Farmington, and we just started a person in Jackson. So. Our last NDI is just the governor's pay plan for our 2 LDDF employees. We have 2 staff who are not, they're paid through our Legal Defense and Defender Fund, so their pay plan is separated out on the last page of 2032. And that is our budget moving forward.
Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Any other questions from the committee? Senator Bean?
So going back to the problem of having one person in office that needs 5, we were there last year, we're still here this year. What is the plan? Do we have a plan moving forward? Because I'm getting phone calls about every 2 weeks on this, so.
So the plan has been to do recruitment. So we brought in a person part-time to do recruitment, and we've expanded our recruitment down to Arkansas, and Tennessee, Mississippi, all of the surrounding states, as well as places. Mississippi, we get a lot of folks coming to our Portageville office, but for some reason, they are not interested in going to our Kennett office. We have had no one who's been interested in going to our Kennett office. So I wish I could solve that problem, Senator, but I don't have a solution. What I would love to do, as I think you're aware, is move the total responsibility for it to our Jackson office, which is a fully functioning office. But as we're aware, that's a long distance to drive.
Are we able to move attorneys into that area from time to time to try to take care of caseloads so that we get them down? Or-
Right now, we have attorneys from Portageville, we have attorneys from Poplar Bluff, and we have attorneys from Jackson who are handling cases out of the Dunklin County courts.
Okay.
But they also have caseloads in Jackson, in Portageville, and in Poplar Bluff. So it's helping, but it's not solving the problem. And in addition, there's not a lot of private counsel down there, which is why we're using there's really 2 firms down there that we're using, Darren Todd, and I can't remember, Jeff McCormick.
Right.
And then Ted Lazinski out of Poplar Bluff, who also helps us out in Carter County, is taking cases down there. But in southeast Missouri, there is just not a lot of attorneys to take advantage of. I wish I could tell you I had a magic solution, but I don't. So we're sort of taking it on a day-by-day basis. But I will, as I mentioned to you, I'll get down, talk to Judge Mayer, and see what his concerns are. And he's been very helpful in understanding through all of this. But at some point, we got to get a solution.
Mayor and Satterfield, so.
Okay. I will talk to both the judges.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mary. Any other questions from the committee? It does not appear so. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate the understanding of the investment that's been made in the last several years by the General Assembly, and hopefully we can continue on that path.
I agree. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Oh, Senator May has made a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, contrary. Senator May, you have adjourned the committee.